Today in the world, there is only enough fresh water to support about half the world demand. And 1.5 billion people have no adequate water for drinking and sanitation. And the United Nations estimates that by 2050, 2 billion people in 48 countries will not have enough water to survive. That is almost twice the population of Africa. Unlike with oil, there is yet no known technological innovation that can yet replace water. So water, and the saving of it, and the protection of it, is very important to everyone. The importance of the need for water is enshrined as a human right by the United Nations in several international treaties, but most clearly articulated by the UN Committee on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights. The human right to water entitles everyone to sufficient, safe, acceptable, physically accessible and affordable water for personal and domestic uses. The committee went further by stressing that the member states' obligations with respect to water have essentially three categories of obligation. The obligation to respect requires states to refrain from interfering directly or indirectly with the enjoyment of the right to water. The obligation to protect requires the states to prevent third parties from interfering with that right to water. This means that the states take all measures to ensure that third parties do not arbitrarily and illegally disconnect water and sanitation services. Communities are protected against third parties' unsustainable extraction of the water resources they rely upon for drinking. The obligation to fulfill requires states to adopt appropriate legislative, administrative, budgetary, judicial, promotional, and other measures to fully realize that right to water. Ireland ratified the covenant of that committee on the 8th of December 1989. So the government should clearly be saying every time someone talks of cutting off water as a threat if people won't pay, that water and access to water is actually a human right, not a gift to be charged out by any government. Under General Comment number 15, the committee also accepted that disconnections will probably take place, but full disconnection is not allowed unless there is access locally to a minimum quality of safe drinking water needed to prevent disease. If the disconnection relates to non-payment, General Comment number 15 states that a person's capacity to pay must be taken into account before the actual disconnection takes place. Recently, there was a call from landlord associations for the authorities to use the disconnection of water as a means to force tenants to pay for water. This is clearly against international treaties we have signed up to, unless a proper source of safe water is then provided, which was the problem in the first place. So there is a clear answer to anyone suggesting that disconnection of water is an option. It isn't, and we have signed treaties to say that. So let's stop wasting anyone's time and state it as a fact. Water is a human right, and as we happen to be a water-rich country, as rich as the Arab nations were when they discovered oil, people outside will want to try and buy it or control it, So let's be responsible with our riches and take care of it for all our citizens who need it to live on. The Irish population is now more aware that it has rights, and they want to exercise them and protect them for the long term, not just the term of any dog.
We will pay! We will pay!